Hey writers, welcome to another inspiration video here on Patreon. Thank you guys so much for being here. We're entering into a new year. It's January 2021 and wow, we've survived 2020 first of all. But also you guys are here for another year. So I just want to say thank you guys so much. Welcome to this inspiration video, and I am going to give you guys a quote. If you've not seen these before, if you're new, I'm going to give you guys a quote, and it's usually just something that's meant to uplift you and inspire you, maybe even if you're stuck a little bit, kind of get you out of that rut. And then I might say a couple things about it, and that's it. Like, the point of the quote is really just to help you guys. I know quotes help me a lot, which is why I sort of made this up. Yeah, so the quote today, and I'm going to look off to the side because it's on my computer and I have to read it. But the quote today is from Johnny Dent Jr. And it says, "It is impossible to make time, but you can always make a commitment." Yeah, I really like that quote because I think as writers, a lot of us, that's one of our excuses, right? And just, to be fully transparent, I've used it many a time. I am not exempt. But one of our excuses is that, we don't have time, right? Like, we say that all the time. But I think that saying it is impossible to make the time is also taking the easy way out. And in this quote, Johnny Dent is essentially saying, okay, well, you're always going to keep saying that, because that, if we think about it, right, and now I'm going to get a little woo-woo, we keep putting out the idea, right, that we don't have time, then yeah, we're never going to have time, right? We are perpetuating that cycle again and again. And to be honest, it's really about making the time for things, right? And in this case, according to the quote, it's about making the commitment, right? So if we want to be writers, if we want to finish a draft, if we want to, publish a book independently, if we want to eventually get an agent or, Big Five publisher, anything, right? Anything that's related to writing, if we actually want to do that, then we're going to have to make the commitment, which essentially will help us create the time, right? Because if we are committed to those goals, we're going to find a way, right? If you've ever heard the quote, here's another quote for you. If you've ever heard the quote, you make time for things you want to make time for, this is essentially what that means, right? And I think a lot of us could do well to remember that sometimes, because if we're going to keep saying, we don't have time, then that's true. It'll never happen. So yeah. And I could do a whole video on how the language that you use and how that, programs your brain, because that's my woo-woo thing. But I'm not going to get into that on this video, because I'm just supposed to be inspiring you to just kind of keep going here. But that might make a good podcast episode, right? All right, you guys. I'm going to say goodbye here because I try to keep these, really about 5 minutes or less, and I'm already at 5 minutes. So thank you guys again so much for being patrons. And, I can't thank you enough from the bottom of my heart. Seriously, it means the world that you guys are still here. And, you've helped us through a very difficult year. And I'm always going to remember that. And that's why I fight so hard for the studio, because I do want to keep it around, because I know that obviously putting money, because you're putting money into it, right? I want to see it stick around so that it can be beneficial to you guys. All right. Thanks again. And feel free to reach out if you need anything. See you on the next inspiration video. Bye.